What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Tiara Marie, and I'm back with another motherfucking video. So, first things first, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I'm really trying to get things rolling with this. Y'all see me, you know what I'm saying? Consistency is key. So, stop what you're doing right now. Make sure you like the video first. And make sure you click that subscribe button. You can turn on the post notifications too, sis, if you want to see my face every single time that I post, okay? So, boom. So, in today's video, basically, I'm going to talk about how I pushed my way through beauty school. So, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I am a licensed cosmetologist. I went to school so I started cosmetology school in March of 2018. I had to think about it because it's really been a minute. So I started school in March of 2018 and I didn't graduate until January of 2020. That is really bad. Like, it sounds a lot worse than what it was. Like, okay, so basically, before I went to beauty school, I decided that I didn't think that college was like really something for me. Like, I didn't think that college was what I really wanted to do. So when I made that decision, I told my parents, because I was supposed to go to Slippery Rock. It's a state college up in Pittsburgh. So I was supposed to go to Slippery Rock, and I was like, I don't even know what I want to do with my life. Like, so my mom was like, oh, you should do nursing. So I was like, okay, like maybe I'll do nursing. And then I just realized, like, and I realized this before I had even like went to school. Like, this was before I even graduated high school. Like, I was just sitting there one day and I was like, yeah, like this school shit, like, it's not for me. Like, I knew all through high school and stuff like that, like, I didn't enjoy school. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just don't feel like I'm meant to go to a school and, like, sit down and be in a classroom typing papers. Like, it just wasn't me. So, at first, my parents were really upset. Like, really, really upset that I didn't want to go to college. Because, I mean, nobody wants to hear their child say, like, yeah, I don't think this is for me, you know? And a lot of kids are already in school just because their parents wanted them to go, not because they actually wanted to go themselves. So basically, I was just like, okay, like, I'm not doing it. So a couple months went by. I had got a job. I was making decent money. Like, I could have been making more, but I was making decent money at the time for being, like, fresh out of high school. And my mom, I graduated in 2017, by the way. And my mom was like, well, what are you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna work for a year and then figure it out. And my mom knows, like, I'm a big procrastinator. Like, I procrastinate probably more than anybody. Like, so she was like, okay, well, I think that you should go to beauty school. Like, you're into hair, you're into makeup, you're into, like, you know, everything that has to do with beauty, and like, why wouldn't you just do that? You know what I mean? And I had a YouTube channel before too, and she was like, I mean, like, even like, you had a YouTube channel, so like, why don't you just go to beauty school? Like, and I was like, all right, like, that's not a bad idea, I guess. So I enrolled in March 2018, and that's when I went. Well, I enrolled in like January, and I started in March. And my first like week, I was super into it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, like, this is definitely for me. This is definitely what I want to do. And in between this time, like, I had just got out of a breakup, and whenever I got out of that breakup, like, I was just trying to like live life basically and just go out with my friends and, you know, just have a good time. And like, we were all graduated. A couple of my friends didn't go to school either, so they were just working. And I was like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so I wasn't showing up to class. And then everything started to get really bad because beauty school is only supposed to take you, if you go full-time, it's supposed to take you 9 months. If you go part-time, it's supposed to take you 15 months. I was part-time because I had a job. So I was going 3 days a week. I was going Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There was like a 6th to 7th month period in 2018 where I was in class maybe 2 to 3 times a month. Like, it was bad. Okay, it was bad. And I was just sitting there like, bro, like, I do not want to do this. Like, I hate hair. Like, I hated doing hair. Like, I don't know why, but when we had our perm week, okay, like, perm week is basically just when you literally work on perms all week. You do all different types of perms, spiral, brick lay, all that. So when when it was time for that, I literally was not having it. Like, I was not trying to do that. So I was like, So it's supposed to take you a week to finish perms. It took me a month. Sis, it took me 4 weeks to finish my permatory week. Took me 4. Because I kept thinking that, like, if I just didn't finish it, that they would be like, oh, Tiara, it's okay, like, move on. No, they was on my ass. Like, they would not let me, they would not let up. And I was like, yo, I hate it here. Also, like, the beauty school that I went to, like, it wasn't, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what I expected either. I would have rather went to a beauty school that was more diverse. Diverse is a very good word to use for that. I feel like beauty schools teach you the basics, but they don't teach you in depth like certain things that you really might want to learn. A lot of the times beauty schools don't teach you that because they're just there to teach you the basics, and you're supposed to continue your education and teach yourself other things. So I hated hair for a minute. And then I started going back to school in like October, November. And whenever that, it was like around like October, the end of October, I went back to school. Nobody knew who I was because it was a whole new group of girls. Like, you get a whole new group. Like, you get new people every single month. But this group was huge. And most of the girls that I had started with were already graduated. So I was like, ooh, shit, like, this is awkward. Like, I'm like the only OG in here. Like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? My teachers were like, pretty much like, they just knew that I didn't want to be there. Like, my teachers would be on my ass, like, Tiara, just finish it, just finish it, just finish it. And I'm like, ugh, like, I don't even want to be here no more. So that's when I met Paige. So whenever I met Paige, like, things started to change a little bit for me. And I think that's because I found another person in beauty school who I could relate with and who, like, I could be cool with and stuff, because she, like, motivated me to, like, keep going to school. You know what I'm saying? Like, Paige has always been, like, into the beauty industry and stuff, and I was just like, I like her. We'll do like a how we met video, because Paige is funny as hell. Like, she thought that I was like the most ignorant person, and I'm really such a nice person, but Paige was like, I don't like that bitch. But I met Paige, and that's when things started to really turn around for me. That's when I was like, okay, like, maybe this isn't so bad. Like, maybe I just need to finish it anyways. So with that being said, whenever I started coming more and stuff like that, like, I started being on like probation periods and stuff at school. They were starting to terminate me because although my attendance was getting better, it wasn't where it needed to be still. Like, I was still missing days, not coming in and stuff like that, because I would pick up extra days at work. And at the time, I was a manager somewhere, and I had to be like, if somebody called off, I had to go to work. I had to pick up shifts. I had to, just for extra money too, because that's when I was planning on moving out and moving into my own house. So fast forward to about January, February of 2019, I moved into my own house in February of 2019. So it was me and my roommate. And when I tell you like 2019 was my grind year, like I really mean 2019 was my grind year. Like I set myself up for my New Year's resolution for 2019 was that I was going to finish school, and that way I could move on to a better job, because at the time I hated my job. Like I absolutely hated my job, and I was just like, I can't be here anymore. Like this is terrible. Like, so in February 2019, I literally lived so close to my beauty school too. I literally lived 5 minutes away. Like I was like, okay, this is perfect. Like I'll go to school every day. Girl, let me tell you. So at the time, I had tried to switch from hair into being a nail tech, because at the time I really like to do nails way more than doing hair. And I was like, okay, so let me go up there and let me talk to the advisor or whatever and see what I can do. So when I talked to them, they were like, oh no, honey, like you're too far in your Cosmo program to even switch into being a nail tech, into just a nail tech program, because I was over my 300-hour limit. So I was just like, damn, like this sucks. Like this really sucks. So at the time, I was really thinking about just quitting. Like I was like, you know, like what the fuck is the point? Like I don't want to do hair. Like I hate doing hair. I want to do nails, but like the program for nails was only 3 months compared to the program for Cosmo was 15 months. And I wasn't even halfway through my program at the time, because I had missed so much school already. And my hours, let me tell you something. Any of you who are planning on going to beauty school, the number one thing that you need to do is keep track of your motherfucking hours. Okay? Because when I tell you that the school will f up your hours, okay, they will completely mess everything up for you. And that's what happened to me. Although I did miss a lot of school, because I did 100%, but I know for a fact, like for 100% facts, that they cheated me out of hours in 2018. And I couldn't prove it though. The only way that you can prove it is if you keep track of your hours. And I wasn't doing that because I didn't really, number one, I didn't think that their hours would get messed up, because you clock in and you clock out. So I didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. And that was a full-blown lesson learned. So when I went up to ask them about my hours and things like that, that's when they had told me that I was over the 300 limit. But I was like over it by just a little bit. And I was like, okay, but like, how is that the case if I have been here? Like I've been consistently coming since like November-ish, and I would miss a day here and there, don't get me wrong, but I would account for that because I started keeping track of my hours. So I'm like, okay, well, something's not right, because I don't really understand how you guys only have me in for this amount of hours. So back in like probably like March and May of last year, I was going consistently. I was working my ass off. Like I was working 40 hours a week, and then going to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So when I was doing this, like I was getting very, very drained. Like one thing that I can say is that I'm the type of person, like I like to be ripping and running all the time. Like I like to be out here doing stuff all the time. I love to be busy. Like I love being busy. But when I tell you, like I couldn't do anything, like at that point, like I was so tired. I didn't want to do anything for myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my health. I wasn't doing anything. And that's something that I do not suggest to people. Like if you feel overworked, take a break, honey, because it will drain you. You will get upset. You will get depressed. You will have days where you don't want to get out the bed. Like do not drain yourself to no end. It is not healthy, like at all. So I had just I had to take like a mental break. So I think it was like a week that I didn't go to school in 2019, and that was literally just for my mental. Like, that was literally just for my mental. And I know that I had friends at the time who were like, oh, like, you're tripping, like, what are you doing, why are you not going to school, stuff like that. Even my family, same thing. But when you feel like you're overworked, when you feel like you can't do nothing for yourself, do not overwork yourself. Do not show up if you aren't fully mentally there, because you're not going to be able to put your 100% in there, and that's not okay. So fast forward a little bit, I was hitting like my 1,000-hour mark, and I just felt like everything was going so slow. And by this point, I had made relationships with everybody in the school, and I was cool with all of the teachers and things like that. And it wasn't until my 1,000-hour mark is when I realized that I really love doing hair. Like, that's gonna sound crazy, because a lot of people go into like beauty school and stuff are like, oh my gosh, I have a passion for this. But I truthfully didn't realize that I had a passion for it until I was in it. Like, until I was like, okay. And once I figured out that you could really be a curly haired specialist, like, that's when I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, this is my lane. This is what I want to do. Like, and that's when once I reached my 1,000 hours, that's when I was like, yeah, this is definitely the career for me. Like, in beauty school, they don't teach you a whole lot about curly hair or ethnic hair in general. So it's kind of something that you have to figure out for yourself. Like, of course, I have naturally curly hair, but there's other textures and things like that that you want to learn about, that you want to deal with. And beauty school doesn't really do that, which is why I'm now taking like classes outside of that, and like taking, you know, classes to help with curly hair and things like that. So it wasn't until my 1,000 hours until I realized that I actually wanted to be a cosmetologist. And the whole nail tech thing really went out the window for me, just because I was like practicing nails and doing things and stuff like that, and I was just like I love doing nails. It's just I didn't want to do it every day. Like, this is not something I want to do every day, and I know that it's not. But dealing with hair, like curly hair, ethnic hair, you know what I'm saying, everything like that is what I want to do with my type of hair. Like, that's what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? So basically, yeah. And then I graduated in January of 2020 of this year, and soon, literally like right before I even graduated, honey, I had a job lined up, because I was like, listen, this job that I'm at right now, that I was a manager at, it gotta go. Okay, I can't do it no more. So that's when I was just like, you know what, this is my career, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm gonna capitalize on. And at the end of the day, all I'm trying to get y'all to understand is that, number one, always finish what you start. Okay, always finish what you start. If you started something, finish it out. But if you need to take a mental break, take a mental break. Like, give yourself time to recoup, give yourself time to, you know, get it together and things like that, because it's hard. And I know it's hard, you know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. Number one, not depending on nobody. Like, it's not easy by any means. So all I got to say is, make sure that, you know, whatever you're doing, you do for yourself. If you don't feel like you want to, okay, I'm not going to encourage people not to go to college, but if you like really feel like you have a passion for something else, or you would really enjoy doing something else, you know what I'm saying, just make an effort to do that. Make an effort to make it a side hustle if you want, even if you don't want to make it your full career. But if you have a talent or something, use it. God gave you a gift for a reason, so make sure that you use it. And yeah, like, basically that was my whole beauty school experience. It was crazy as hell. Y'all don't even know the half. Like, my teachers will literally joke with me to this day, because nobody thought that I would graduate. But guess what? I motherfucking did it. Okay, I graduated, and now I'm out here making my bread, and, you know what I'm saying, making a name for myself. And, you know what I'm saying, these lashes, sis, guess what? That's my brand, Bougie Tings. That's the business that I have with Paige, who I was talking about earlier, who I went to beauty school with. But yeah, anyways, y'all, this was my little story time today. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see from me, and yeah, we're just gonna keep running this shit up, and that's just what it is. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media, Instagram and Twitter at TTers only, and then also at Bougie Tings. That's IG and Twitter. That's for the lashes and the lip gloss if you guys are looking to purchase. And add me on Facebook at Tierra Marie. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. See ya.